All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead television series, Season 10, Episode 18, Find Me. All right, man. So we'll go ahead and do this review now. Spoiler warning if you haven't seen the new episode, this weekend's episode of The Walking Dead yet. As usual, they're premiering Thursday nights on AMC Plus or AMC Premiere, and most people will probably watch it Sunday night. So this will contain spoilers for the episode. If you don't care, you can watch. If not, if you do care, you can check back Sunday night if you want to, and we'll likely do a live stream Sunday night for something, probably Walking Dead related, most likely. So, this week's episode. So, now the second episode of the 6 episodes that we're getting for this sort of shorter half of The Walking Dead, with The Walking Dead Season 10 extended. And we've gotten confirmation now that the final season, Season 11, will be starting this summer at some point in time. And we have 4 episodes left out of these 6 after this one. So it was kind of explained to us that... in a recent article I did a video on from Angela Kang that they had to be, it was a little bit tricky for them to film these 6 episodes, and they got them done, but they're a little bit different than what we're used to because of the social distancing and all that stuff. They were not able to stand within 6 feet of each other. So this episode is one of those where they filmed it with the distancing in mind. And basically what we get is a kind of Daryl struggle flashback / current timeline with Carroll, a story. And in it, probably the most important thing is we get to meet a somewhat of a love interest for Daryl with Leah. And we get to find out that during the time that Daryl was looking for Rick, during those 6 years, Daryl spent what seems like, most of it kind of on his own, most of it out looking for Rick, and then part of the time with Leah, meeting with Carroll every so often, and then the rest we kind of saw him come back into the story when the whispers were coming in and everything like that in the episode following what comes after Rick's last episode. So you had a 6-year time block here. A lot of stuff did occur during that time, and in this episode we get to see specifically what happened for Daryl and partially for Carroll. I'm also wondering if this kind of will give us sort of a glimpse or kind of a look at what the Daryl Carroll spinoff will look like for us for The Walking Dead, as it has also been confirmed that we're going to be seeing a Daryl Carroll spinoff series after Season 11, The Walking Dead ends. They will do another series for Daryl and Carroll run by Angela Kang. We don't know how many episodes a season. We don't know how many seasons, but they're going to try it. So if you like this episode, then you'll probably be looking forward to that series after The Walking Dead ends. If you don't, well, I don't know what to tell you because this is probably our strongest indication of sort of what that kind of show will be like after The Walking Dead original is finished, considering this is a Daryl Carroll episode. Not that we haven't had them before, but this is a very focused Daryl Carroll episode where literally you only have 3 survivors in the entire episode, with the new kind of love interest for Daryl, with Leah being there, Daryl Carroll, and there is not a scene that I can think of, that I can recall, with anybody else except for those 3. Well, unless you count dogs. So it's a pretty focused episode. I don't know if I want to say it's a bottled off episode, but it's a flashback episode, and it's an okay episode. So we start things off in the episode in our current sort of timeline where we're at right now in the Walking Dead television series, prior to the intro, where Daryl and Carroll are basically going hunting. Daryl's got the bike. It's having some trouble starting up at this point, but he's able to get it to kick. And they kind of go off to do some hunting together. So they go fishing a little bit, and then they start kind of bantering back and forth with Carroll, sort of saying or calling Daryl out that he kind of thinks that she's not doing it right or something like this. And they do have a good kind of banter back and forth with each other, like at the beginning with the bike and everything else. You do. I like to see the two of them. I like the way that they both kind of play off each other, and they just kind of have some fun with a little bit of arguing and whatnot. And the episode does kind of end off with them sort of arguing a little bit more, or Daryl kind of calling out Carroll for her behavior of when things get really bad. A lot of times she tends to kind of run away, so she'll go off sailing, or she'll leave a community, or she'll just kind of go off. Whenever she's troubled, she kind of runs, and him also blaming her sort of for what happened with her fault with the Connie situation in trying to get Alpha, kind of bringing down the, what was it, like the cave type of environment that they were sort of stuck in and whatnot during, close to the mid-season finale there for The Walking Dead Season 10. So early, not the bonus part, I'm talking like, back what we saw before with Connie and all the other stuff. So they kind of have a tiff at the end, and that's sort of where the episode kind of ends off. But it's just kind of them kind of standing at this little cabin type of place that they're at, which we get the idea was sort of Leah's home in the zombie apocalypse, and kind of the place where Daryl stayed for a while. Now, there's a lot of different little time skips as you go through it. You go like 5 years ago, and then 2 years, and then a year later, and then 6 months later, 8 months later, 3 months. Like, there's all these different little time pieces. 10 months they were together. So you're kind of getting the gist of it is you're getting to see kind of a step-by-step of maybe the important moments over time, of when Daryl was looking for Rick and what happened during that time skip that we never got to see in the TV series. The best parts, I want to say, I like where Daryl's kind of tracking everything. He's got a map that he's looking at, and it sort of gets drenched with water and somewhat kind of destroyed, and then he starts screaming in agony just in frustration of the whole thing, where there's all this rain pouring down on him and everything. He's kind of alone. He's out there. So I like that part in the episode, just to see his frustration, to see his angst, to see his anger, and just not being able to find Rick. People kind of being like, "When are you coming home? When are you gonna stop doing this?" Both Carroll at parts here, like wanting him to come back after a certain while, and then Leah eventually getting fed up with him that he keeps looking for his dead brother Rick, or he keeps looking for his brother Rick. So she's getting mad at him because and you get that too. It's like he's giving attention, he's giving all his time, and he keeps leaving and whatnot. And she probably wants him to stay there with her. I am kind of surprised. I guess maybe Daryl just wanted to be off, but I am surprised that he didn't maybe tell her about the different communities that she could maybe go to with him or something like this. But I guess for his purposes at that time, it just wasn't really something that he was so interested in, because he was really on a mission to find Rick. You have Dog in the episode as well, too, and we get to see that his beginnings for where he came from were that Dog was Leah's, and then he kind of found Daryl, and then eventually when Leah left, or whatever happened with that, which it's not clear if she's still alive. If she's not, we have a Morales situation again. Probably. They'll find me. They'll probably use her later. Like, you'll probably see her come back. We don't see a body, so we are to understand, I think, that she's left, she's gone out there, and at some point they'll probably meet again. At some point they'll probably run into each other again, but Daryl doesn't know if she's alive or dead. I would say that if we didn't get to see it, then probably, before the end of the series in season 11, most likely we will see her again at some point here. So we have all that stuff when he first meets her and everything, and she kind of pulls a shotgun on him and everything like that. She ties him up, all of that, and eventually releases him. And you kind of have following scenes where he's kind of going off, and then she's kind of, sometimes it seems like either maybe intentionally running into him, because she would be getting lonely, as you might imagine, being by herself all the time like that, and she knows he's kind of in the vicinity. So you kind of get the sense that she kind of kind of intentionally runs into him, or intentionally throws stuff at him, which is kind of fun, or just kind of the setup for what you think would be for like some kind of a relationship, which I get the sense from watching the episode that's what she kind of wants, and I kind of get the sense that Daryl is sort of indifferent about it, or he's either not that he's not interested, but he's passive about it. He doesn't really care, and there's the part where they kind of go up against a tree, and there's walkers kind of coming around. They're kind of close, and he's sort of like closed off as Daryl is, but he's kind of like maybe interested to engage, and then later we get the sense that they do engage. But the gist of it is we kind of get to see from the camera lens like their hands together. We get the sense that they were together. You got the 10-month timer for that. So we are to infer, I suppose, that they were romantically involved during that time, even though there isn't exactly a scene that shows it visually. And I just keep going back over thinking, like, was that the whole episode? Did I miss anything? And, I think that's just about it. There's a mention from Carroll about Ezekiel and the kingdom. So there's a part where she goes to visit where Henry and Ezekiel were, Ezekiel's still alive, but where Henry was still alive at that time. And I think that's most of what I want to say. We see things, we basically get a character-focused episode with Daryl and Carroll. And their different strife they have with their sort of friendship or whatever that is. And then you have the introduction of Leah, who we are to infer was romantically involved with Daryl. It's sort of, you can kind of see it too with the hand scene and whatnot, the fire and everything. So, it's there. And then that's mostly it. So you get some of the before, looking for Rick, all that stuff. It doesn't seem like they really spotlight him finding anything of Rick's. So it's just kind of him by himself out there. He's checking all the different locations in and around, and he's not finding anything from looks of things from what we get to see in the episode. So in terms of score for the episode, I'm only going to give this one a 7 out of 10, which is very low for Walking Dead. But I feel like that's what it is. That's the that makes sense. And it's not a great score for Walking Dead. Usually Walking Dead would be much higher. But that's why I see in it. It does have some potential for future episodes. At least we have a new introduction of a new character with Leah, who could be good for Daryl later on. We'll see about that. But I also get the sense from her, too, that they could even maybe use her as a villain because she seems kind of temperamental. She seems like she's pulling a shotgun on him, everything like that. So she's kind of a bit mischievous, throwing stuff at him and whatnot. And so I'm just, I don't know. I'm not sure. So it's a slower episode. It's definitely nothing crazy. I wonder what the other episodes that are out of the 6 are going to be like. These bonus episodes. But from what we're seeing after the first 2 episodes, I like the first one. I thought it was good. But this one here was a bit weaker than the first one, I want to say. I am kind of seeing, like, after reading, I almost wish I wouldn't have seen that article that described them having to social distance everything, because I just sit here and watch this and think, like, man, this would have been better if they could have been, like if you could have more characters, or if you could have had them closer together and whatnot. So I don't know. It's just, it's tricky stuff, but I don't want to be unappreciative that they did these episodes. So I like the episode. I'm glad we got to see Daryl struggle in after Rick had left. It's just that they kind of used that as almost part of the plot, but not, there wasn't, like, even though Rick was Find Me, Rick was kind of what this flashback was based on, but it sort of became something different for Daryl and his relationship, and the fact that he just really, all those years, really didn't find anything so far as what we see in this episode. So that's my review for this one. We'll be back on Sunday night, guys. We'll do a fun live stream and everything, and maybe give more thoughts on Leah. We can discuss it together. Leave your comments below, though. What do you guys think? Any questions you have for this weekend's live stream, leave them below, and I'll add them for the stream. And be sure to check back Sunday night at around 9 p.m. Eastern Time or 10, and we'll hang out for a couple hours, and we'll have some fun. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. That's it for this one, and I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.